Yeah, so the gestation is 13 months. Now Molly was hand raised, and we've had other hand raised animals that have taken care of their babies well. But this time she was actually drying it off, but she did not have a lot of milk. The milk letdown wasn't that good. And the thing with these guys, you have to make a decision. Whether you leave them with the mom and maybe they don't get the colostrum, because they need colostrum just like a calf does. And unlike human babies, that all the antibodies from the mom cross the placenta and they get immunity that way. These guys need that first milk from the mom. It's called colostrum. That has all the antibodies that they've been exposed to in this area that will protect them. And if they don't get that, that's a big issue. So we worried about that. And if you either have to, and that's I have to make a decision whether we need to pull them or whether we can try and leave them with the mom. Once you leave them with the mom, if they don't get the colostrum, it's very difficult to pull them and get them going very well. So I made the decision to pull her because I didn't think she would have enough milk. So that's what we did. And obviously we have to get colostrum, and I could not milk the mom. So what we use is cow colostrum, which is very similar. And I try and use colostrum from a local farm. We have one right up the road. Because those animals are exposed to kind of the same things that this would be exposed to. So that's what we did. And she has done very well. We've had a few up to tufts. We work with tufts on the giraffe sometimes. You know, if they don't get a good colostrum amount and good antibodies, then they're real prone to infection. And they're real prone to infection through their umbilicus. You can see her umbilicus right there is drying off. And we treat that when they're born. We treat it with betadine. And betadine's an iodine solution that will kill off any bacteria that are on there, because that's an easy way for them to get septic. And once they get the bacteria get in there, it can seed in the joints, and you can really get into some issues. We had one at Tufts one time where they actually, I think it's probably the first and only giraffe that they anesthetized and took a bad piece of cartilage out of the talus, which is in the back leg there. And that one did fine, but they had to get that out. So, yeah, it's a judgment call, but we decided to pull her, and she's probably, if she does well, because they're prone to issues probably for the first month. She's about 2.5 weeks old today, I think, just about. So she's doing well, and we're probably going to keep her in with the herd. And we'll try and get her back with mom as soon as we can. I think probably another week in here, see how she does, and then we'll start to put her out in sort of a holding pen out with the other animals so they can get used to her. And then we'll eventually get her back in with the herd. So that's what we do. And she's done very well. And thank God I do have Tufts, because they have some of the best neonatal vets for, you know, for horses and things. They love seeing the giraffe because they fall in love with it, you know. And they've had a few up there that we brought up, but they're really good. So if I do get into trouble, it's nice to have them as a backup, because they're, you know, their interns up there are great, and so are the resident vets are great too. So she's going to come up and check out your little microphone. So there's a few issues that they can have too. Vitamin E, selenium is a big issue. I treated them for that. We try and draw blood sometimes. I'm watching her closely with that. And obviously bacteria getting exposed. They get the colostrum. The colostrum's good for probably a month or two. And then those antibodies wane, and then they start building their own. And that's when they're prone to other problems. So we have to really watch that. And hopefully she does well. They can be a very difficult animal to work on. So what we do is, for her, we check these joints, you know, to make sure there's no heat in there or fluid. And hers have been very good. And obviously we watch the temperature. And the other thing that can happen is they can get, sometimes if they're not pooping normal, they can get a little impacted, so we have to watch that too. So there's all things to watch, all things to worry about. But